Mounting track lighting fixtures on a drop ceiling presents several concerns. Drop ceilings are often made of combustible materials like fiberglass or polystyrene tiles, and the heat from track lighting can create a fire risk, especially if installation or maintenance is inadequate. Drop ceilings are designed for a specific weight load. Adding track lighting and related equipment could exceed this limit and cause a collapse. Drop ceilings conceal electrical wires and components. Installing track lighting involves drilling or cutting, potentially damaging wires and creating electrical hazards. Drop ceilings allow easy access for maintenance. Track lighting can obstruct this access, complicating servicing or replacement of electrical equipment. Track lighting can be visually intrusive and disrupt the clean look of a drop ceiling, with exposed wiring and bulky fixtures detracting from the space's overall aesthetic. Safer lighting alternatives for drop ceilings include recessed lighting, which installs directly into the tiles for a flush appearance. Pendant lights hang from the ceiling, offering adjustable direct or indirect illumination. Wall-mounted fixtures can be installed on walls above the drop ceiling, providing general or accent lighting. Linear fixtures can be suspended below the drop ceiling or mounted on the walls for a modern look. Consult a qualified electrician before modifying a drop ceiling or installing lighting fixtures to ensure safety and minimize hazards. Important factors to consider include fire safety, structural integrity, electrical safety, and accessibility. First, fire safety is paramount. The heat generated by track lighting fixtures can ignite combustible ceiling tiles if precautions aren't taken. Check the fire rating of the ceiling tiles and ensure the lighting fixtures are compatible. Secondly, structural integrity of the drop ceiling is essential. The weight of the track lighting should not exceed the ceiling's load-bearing capacity. Reinforce the ceiling grid if necessary. Thirdly, electrical safety cannot be overlooked. Ensure all wiring and connections are properly insulated and grounded to prevent electrical shocks or fires. Use appropriate connectors and follow electrical codes. Fourthly, accessibility for maintenance is important. Consider how easily the lighting fixtures can be accessed for bulb replacements and repairs. Avoid blocking access to other electrical components. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, provides guidelines for safe electrical installations. Refer to relevant articles in the NEC, such as Article 410.1 for luminaires, lamp holders, and lamps, and Article 300.1 for wiring methods to ensure compliance. For example, NEC Section 410.117 addresses the installation of track lighting, specifying requirements for support, spacing, and connection to the branch circuit. NEC Section 300.11 covers securing and supporting wiring methods. When calculating the load on the circuit, refer to NEC Article 220.1, which provides guidelines for branch circuit, feeder, and service calculations. Ensure that the total load, including the track lighting, does not exceed the circuit's capacity. The ampacity of conductors must be sufficient to carry the load, as specified in NEC Table 310.16. Overcurrent protection such as circuit breakers or fuses must be sized appropriately to protect the conductors and equipment, in accordance with NEC Section 240.1. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Ensure that all metal parts of the lighting fixtures are properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards, as required by NEC Article 250.1. Use appropriately sized grounding conductors and connectors. In addition to the NEC, local building codes and regulations may also apply. Check with the local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. Consider the impact of the lighting on the overall lighting design of the space. Ensure that the lighting is adequate for the intended use of the space and that it does not create glare or shadows. Use appropriate lamps and reflectors to achieve the desired lighting effect. Regular maintenance is essential to ensure the safe and reliable operation of the track lighting system. Inspect the fixtures regularly for loose connections, damaged wiring, or other potential hazards. Replace any damaged components promptly. Clean the fixtures regularly to remove dust and dirt, which can reduce their efficiency and increase the risk of overheating. When working with electricity, Always follow safe work practices. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are not qualified to work on electrical equipment, hire a licensed electrician to do the work. When selecting track lighting fixtures, consider the following factors: the type of lamps used, such as incandescent, halogen, LED, or fluorescent; the color temperature of the lamps, which affects the appearance of the light, measured in Kelvin; the light output of the lamps, measured in lumens; the beam angle of the lamps, which affects the distribution of light; the energy efficiency of the lamps, measured in lumens per watt; the lifespan of the lamps, measured in IRs; the warranty provided by the manufacturer; the cost of the fixtures and lamps; the availability of replacement parts; the ease of installation and maintenance. When installing track lighting on a drop ceiling, use appropriate mounting hardware and techniques. Secure the track to the ceiling grid using screws or clamps. Ensure that the track is level and properly aligned. Connect the track to the branch circuit using appropriate wiring methods. Use wire connectors that are rated for the voltage and amperage of the circuit. Ensure that all connections are tight and secure. When installing recessed lighting, use recessed housings that are rated for the type of ceiling. Ensure that the housings are properly insulated to prevent heat loss. Connect the housings to the branch circuit using appropriate wiring methods. When installing pendant lighting, use pendant supports that are rated for the weight of the fixtures. Ensure that the supports are securely attached to the ceiling structure. Connect the fixtures to the branch circuit using appropriate wiring methods. When installing wall-mounted lighting, use wall-mounting brackets that are rated for the weight of the fixtures. Ensure that the brackets are securely attached to the wall structure. Connect the fixtures to the branch circuit using appropriate wiring methods. In general, electrical systems operate at various voltages, for example, 120 volts, 208 volts, 277 volts, and 480 volts. Understanding these voltages is critical for safe and effective electrical work. Electrical current, measured in amps, is another key factor. The size of the wiring and the overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers, must be appropriately sized to handle the expected amperage. Electrical resistance, measured in ohms, is the opposition to the flow of current. Understanding resistance is essential for troubleshooting electrical circuits. Before starting any electrical work, it is essential to identify the circuit and verify that it is de-energized. Use a voltage tester to ensure that the circuit is not live. Always follow lockout/tagout procedures to prevent accidental re-energization of the circuit. Use appropriate personal protective equipment such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. Work in a well-lit and dry environment. Avoid working alone. If possible, have someone else present in case of an emergency. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical safety is not just about following the rules, it is about developing a safety mindset. Be aware of the potential hazards and take steps to mitigate them. Report any unsafe conditions to your supervisor. Participate in safety training programs. Stay up to date on the latest electrical codes and standards. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure that electrical work is performed safely and effectively. The information provided is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or other expert before making any decisions about electrical work. Proper planning and preparation are essential for a successful electrical project. Take the time to develop a detailed plan and gather all the necessary materials and tools. Consider the following factors: the purpose of the lighting, whether general illumination, task lighting, or accent lighting; the size and shape of the space to be lit; the color and texture of the surfaces in the space; the desired mood or atmosphere; the energy efficiency of the lighting system; the budget for the project; the availability of qualified contractors; the time frame for the project. Once you have developed a plan, Gather all the necessary materials and tools. This may include wiring, conduit, junction boxes, switches, receptacles, lighting fixtures, lamps, and hand tools. Ensure that all materials and tools are in good condition and meet the applicable safety standards. Before starting any electrical work, inspect the existing electrical system for any signs of damage or deterioration. Look for loose wires, cracked insulation, or corroded connections. Replace any damaged components before proceeding. Before connecting any new wiring to the existing electrical system, verify that the voltage and amperage ratings are compatible. Use appropriately sized conductors and overcurrent protection devices. Follow all applicable electrical codes and standards. After completing the electrical work, test the system to ensure that it is functioning properly. Use a voltage tester to verify that the voltage is correct. Use an ammeter to measure the current flow. Inspect all connections to ensure that they are tight and secure. Label all circuits and components for future reference. Keep a record of all electrical work performed, including the date, location, and description of the work. By following these steps, you can help ensure that the electrical project is completed safely, efficiently, and effectively. Remember, when dealing with electrical systems, safety must always be the top priority.